Are you ready to level up in 2026? Welcome to Rooted in Love, a place where we talk about social justice, spirituality, being able to really do that arc of transformation inside of ourselves to show up in the ways that we always knew that we were meant to, and making that identity shift into who we truly are meant to be in our authentic expression, in our greatest potential. And so today we're going to be talking about the 5 ways that we need to level up in 2026. It is no longer time for us to be shrinking in a place where there is greed, power, ego that is dominating our society. It is time for us as Black and brown people, as people of color, as people who are dealing with oppression and colonization inside of ourselves. It is time for us to deprogram and reprogram with the truth of knowing what our ancestors always have dreamt for us. So here are the 5 things that we need to focus on to transform from the ground up. Number 1, learning how to truly slow down. Colonization has taught us that it is essential for us to be at a pace of urgency, and that everything is a crisis, and that everything needs to be done immediately. There is another way, a way where we can be rooted and in our mindfulness practices, intentionally moving our bodies and using our minds as a tool that is not reactionary, but responsive with intentionality. So in 2026, being able to prioritize our meditation practices, the practices that allow us to slow down, being in authentic connection with each other by actually learning how to listen, being able to have practices to slow down and actually practice them consistently will allow us to take a new shape in this world that is constantly telling us that we have to be at 5,000 miles per hour, which will never bring us to a place of real care that we are trying to cultivate in this world, within ourselves, with our loved ones, and with our communities. For myself, I hit my breaking point being in the film industry when I was reaching burnout, exhaustion, and wondering, why am I even going at this pace? Who told me I had to live like this? And why was I conditioned to be like this? Something deeply shifted within me when I reached my rock bottom of saying I no longer can live in this burnout exhaustion space. And so I started to do some really deep self-reflection, taking time to pause and journal and meditate and pray about what is the life that I actually want to live. And it was a life of slow intentionality, and realizing from there everything else was possible. Number 2, leveling up our health and wellness. Our health and wellness is essential in a system that has been built for us to be unhealthy. In terms of processed foods, the amount of pollution and chemicals in the air, these things that have really detracted from our ability to be healthy. And so for us, being able to do the exact opposite, being able to move our bodies, being able to make sure that we are eating nourishing meals 3 times a day. And for me, I realized that this is actually going to be the most important piece in 2026. And yes, it may sound cliche because it's like, oh, 2026, everyone has to do their fitness routines and their full makeover of their body transformation and losing weight. And yet, realizing that it is so much bigger than that. By us having healthy bodies, we are able to be of more service to the world. We are able to have the longevity and the clear mind that is needed for us to be able to show up in the ways that we want to. So prioritizing our health is essential, and it is one of the main things that we need to do to level up in 2026. Number 3 is connecting to spirit, universe, source, God, creator, land, nature, whatever that higher power is for you. For us to truly decolonize, we have to realize how much we've been separated and disconnected from spirit, something much larger than ourselves. Without that connection to a greater purpose, it is so easy to be totally zoomed in to our work and things that actually may not really give us the fulfillment of what we're actually seeking. To be able to zoom out and really redefine what is spirituality for ourselves. By going within ourselves and creating that connection within, we can find that truth of what really matters and connecting to that core sense of center within ourselves. Our ancestors used prayer and connection to the land to make decisions, to be sure that they were always staying rooted in collective care and being able to do the right things with integrity. This is something that I did not grow up with. I grew up very agnostic, not really having any sort of spirituality in my own life, which was definitely a direct result of us growing up as children of immigrants in the US and just trying to adapt into Western society. And yet now, after going through my own spiritual awakening and really diving deep into reading spiritual texts and doing my own spiritual practices, it has transformed my entire way of being, of interacting with others, and truly understanding my own sole purpose here in the world, which is to give and receive love. And so being able to figure out that connection for yourself, whether it be diving into reading more books, going to nature, and just being with Mother Earth, or being able to heal from any religious trauma that maybe you have experienced growing up, that rebuilding your own connection with spirit is going to be a transformational journey that is lifelong and can evolve in ways that we could have never expected. Number 4 for us to level up is authentic community. For so long, I had very surface level friendships. I did not know how to be vulnerable, how to be intimate in platonic relationships. And I did not know that there was even another way to be around others. And yet, as I've gone deeper into my own vulnerability and creating intimacy within myself, I have realized how important it is to learn how to depend on community. And so it doesn't have to be a big community, even just 3 or 4 people that you know are soul aligned with yourself. Being able to really deepen in those relationships, to go to them when you are struggling, and that you can actually be in a place where you can show up as your full authentic self. Finding that community, whether it be through a hobby, a spiritual group, a reading group, through sports or some sort of activity, having that level of community and rootedness in community is essential to leveling up, because now you'll have an accountability group that allows you to show up in the way that you actually want to, and that they're celebrating you for your authentic self. There is so much talk around mutual aid and figuring out how do we create this reciprocal care and reciprocal relationships, and that if we learn how to actually show up in service for others, we will also receive the same service back. And so starting to create that exchange that is not transactional anymore, but is out of a place of actual care and love and selfless service. For me, I've started to meet my neighbors in this new apartment that I'm now living in, and it's been so special to actually make sure I put myself out there to meet my neighbors in a way that before I would have not really prioritized. And yet that is the way for us to actually create a new world rooted in love, is through having that collective care. The final method of leveling up relates to all 4 of the before, and it is integrity. Being able to actually have integrity within ourselves. That when we say that we're going to do something, we create the practice of actually doing it. And yes, there will be days where we are sick, where we're unmotivated, where we're, needing that level of grace. And yet, we know the days where we could have really done the thing, and that we just self-sabotaged, or we numbed, or we tried to avoid or distract ourselves from actually doing the thing. 2026 is the year where we need you to be in your full integrity, because if you're not able to rely on yourself, others won't be able to rely on you either. So making sure that you have a consistent practice of staying in integrity, doing the things that you say you're going to do, starting to create safety within your nervous system, that you actually do show up for yourself when you say that you're going to. So whatever is needed for that, for me, it's actually scheduling things into my calendar, giving myself pep talks, affirmations, starting to have that level of somatic awareness to say I am safe to do the thing I need to do. I can do the thing I need to do. I can do hard things, has been so beneficial. This past year, I just finished my yoga teacher training, and my teacher had a saying where it was around cutting corners, and no longer cutting corners on the path to the greatest evolution. Cutting corners will not allow us to reach the levels that we want to reach. That the only way is through. And so doing the thing fully in the way that we know that we are supposed to. That for you to create a secure attachment within yourself, you have to show up for yourself. For me, this is it. I've been saying I want to do YouTube forever, that I have messages that I want to share with the world, and I have just been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because of fear, limiting beliefs, procrastination, and realizing that if I don't just do the thing that I say I want to do, I will be in the exact same place next year saying I need to do the exact same thing that I want to do, saying the exact same goal over and over, year after year. And so having the community to stay accountable, having the practices to slow down and be intentional, having yourself in connection to be an instrument and a vessel for the highest good for the world, being in integrity for your greatest purpose, and taking care of your body, mind, and spirit along the way. 2026 is your time to level up in ways that you didn't even know were possible, and I am here to support you along that journey. If you're feeling called to go deeper into your own transformation, we have a workshop coming up on January 24th called Your Inner Revolution to allow you to fulfill on your own greatest soul calling. And the way of transformation is through the body, so we'll be doing it with somatic practice, in community together, and starting to create that accountability in authentic community for us to level up together. So if you're feeling called to go for it, I welcome you to sign up in the link in the description. I am here to support you when you're leveling up. We're doing it together, and I cannot wait to see you in your fullest authentic expression, in your fullest vision for yourself, because it is possible and it is waiting for you to give a full body yes.